Hello and welcome to the EBS PaySuite Tax Master tutorial. My name is Ted and I will be your guide. Let's begin by looking at the prerequisites. First, you should have a basic knowledge of payroll taxes on the federal, state, and local levels. You should also be knowledgeable about the organizational levels within your company. Taxes are just one of many codes, tables, and processes that are driven in PaySuite by organizational levels. Finally, your PaySuite system came preloaded with certain codes and tables. During implementation, your employer details, tax tables, and general ledger accounts were defined according to your company's specifics. All of these will be used in the process of setting up and maintaining your tax codes. Now, let's open the PaySuite application. Depending on your products and level of security, the Home tab, as well as several additional tabs, will appear across the top of the screen when the program initiates. At this point, if you have the proper security permissions, you should see a tab for Payroll. So go ahead and click on the Payroll tab now. On the left side of the screen, click on the Master's menu item. Now the payroll codes will display. Select Taxes from the list of codes. As payroll professionals, you will find some of the screens and fields you'll be working with need little or no explanation. Others, however, will require more detail as they are unique to the system or have an impact on other codes or processes. To define your search for an existing tax you wish to work with, use the drop-down arrow to identify the tax levels, federal, state, local, or others. You can also select the tax status, active, inactive, or both. The Find Rule code is very useful when searching the long list of state codes. For instance, to view California unemployment insurance, click on State and Active. Select CAUI to review the tax code for California unemployment insurance. The first detail screen will open under the General tab. The code and description will now automatically display. Select the appropriate tax table ID for unemployment insurance. Once the tax table ID is selected, certain parameters for the tax that have already been set up in the system will automatically populate the appropriate fields such as tax level and contribution. There will be no tax withholding since this is an employer-paid tax, so enter 0 in the withholding priority field. The radio buttons on the right side of the screen refer to whether the tax is automatically allocated and if this tax should be automatically added to all employers defined. The start and end date are self-explanatory, and the print description field shows what will be printed on the check stub. To identify the employers for the tax, simply use the directional arrows to move them between the available and selected boxes. The employer used in this example is ABC and has already been selected for this tax code. Now you can move on to the Wage Base tab. The Wage Base screen is a view-only screen. The wage base sets up the basis for how the tax will be calculated as determined by arrears considerations and wages. These were set up at the organizational level in your system. The accumulate arrears, calculate loan, deduct arrears when inactive, and force cash rule fields are only applicable to companies with tipped employees. The wage base is further defined by taxable earnings, pre-tax deductions, and pre-tax taxes in the boxes below. In each wage base, there is an available list of codes that have been previously set up for this tax code. If you see that changes are necessary, you must have security permissions allowing you to change the setup screens. With the wage base parameters defined, you can now move on to the next tab, Reporting. The Reporting tab refers to the rates for the tax as determined by the tax entity. To see the rates for the tax, you must first select the employer from the list on the left side of the screen. For this example, we'll select ABC. Enter the date of effect, then enter the lower limit, upper limit, and rate according to the tax parameters. Simply click on the field you wish to edit, and don't forget to save your work. Now let's go over the final tab in the tax code setup, the General Ledger. The General Ledger tab shows you the GL account numbers assigned to the tax codes for reporting purposes. Begin by selecting the employer, ABC, from the list on the left side of the page. Depending on the tax code you are viewing, the GL component column will display employer payable and employer expense. These components will be defined in the fields displayed below and will require additional detail, such as main account number. Click in the account number field. You will see a list of pre-select GL account numbers for this tax. Select 2120 SUTA Payable. As you have learned in this tutorial, setting up and maintaining your payroll taxes is an easy process. A lot of the work came preloaded with your system or was entered during implementation. For more insight, check out the tax tables in the Setup tab. See you next time.